Okay, we got Tim Curry singing. 1994 baseball, pretty iconic to me, hashtag Cleveland. Let's go poke a dead body. Poke, 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 poke. Hey guys, and welcome to the very first, my favorite section of the show is when I pick out a record from this collection up here. Pick out, learn about one of those bad boys. There's a 1 to 136, I believe. So without further ado, let's pick a number, decide which one of these son of a guns we're gonna get. Okay, ready? Random number generated. 41. Number 41 is gonna be chosen this week from left to right, and I'll meet you up there. Hey. 10, 20, 30, 41. All right. Tim Curry, yes, the Tim Curry, released an album in 1978, believe it or not. Anyway, Read My Lips is the album's name, and there is 8 tracks. Let's learn about that. Take camera 3. Read My Lips, as I previously stated, came out in 1978, just 3 years after Curry's most popular movie, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, was released. There are 9 tracks to it, and all of which are written by other artists, and I'll have a sample of each of them playing in the background as I go through the names. Birds of a Feather, written by Carol Pope and Kevin Staples, which this is probably my favorite track on the album. Then there's Wake Nicodemus, originally written in 1864 by Henry Clay Work. It's a neat rendition, I guess. Next is I Will, written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney. It's a Beatles tune. So Tim Curry does a reggae jam, and I couldn't figure out if he was making up an accent or if he was just finding his own way to portray it, but it kind of seemed like he was making a fake voice for it. I don't know. Next song is Brontosaurus, written by Roy Wood. Now this one was mixed oddly. The vocals were drowned out by this quasi-metal sounding instrumental, and it was, in all honesty, a weird song. Alan was written by Tony Kasinik, and it gave off the feeling of a hardcore Bowie song, right in the middle of the Bowie catalog. All I Want, written by Joni Mitchell. Nice jam, just a nice jam. Next is Slow Gin, written by Bob Ezrin and Michael Kamen. But now this is a really good ballad with a killer sound and a beastly guitar solo. It's actually the first track that I could feel some emotion in. Next is Harlem on My Mind, written by Irvin Berlin. Now this is a pretty neat track. It's kind of made me feel like I was listening to a low-level stage show tune, because it jumps genres right in the middle of it. It goes from this rocky blues beat to this 50 kind of kick line sort of jam. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was unique. And the last one is Anyone Who Had a Heart, written by Burt Bacharach and Hal David. This was the final track on it, like I said, but it was the very first song that sounded like I would assume a Tim Curry song would sound. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyway. See, I am a huge fan of Tim Curry, but honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this album. Though there were a couple decent tracks, it seemed to be randomly thrown together, and I feel like it could have been produced better. I don't know. I did enjoy listening to Tim Curry sing. Now, before I start looking into the Rocky Horror Picture soundtrack, because I want to hear him singing some more, let's pivot, and we'll head over to the magical gaming wheel. Hello guys, and welcome to the video game section of this episode. I'm going to spin these 2 wheels 3 times to determine which game I will play for 1 hour and then give my honest review. Alright, first let's choose the system. Another Sega Genesis game. What letter? Sega Genesis. Letter T. Letter T again. Genesis T. Genesis T10. Ooh, close to the last one. Genesis T10, that's what I'm going to play, and I will see you over there. What is it? If you've been following this series, you know that the last game I will go to play is a sports game. But I do love me a good baseball video game, and I do love me some sports nostalgia, especially when it's in the form of the 1994 Cleveland Indians. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Tecmo Super Baseball is a professional baseball video game that was released in 1994. It features all 28 Major League Baseball teams that existed at the time, but because of licensing agreements, the teams don't have any logos or team names. They're just noted by their city. The game features a few modes: preseason, regular season, superstars, which is a copyright-free way of saying all-star team, where you can either use all-star teams from 1993 or draft your own. I booted up the game and I was ready to play. I selected preseason and of course the Cleveland Indians, which had some all-time team greats: Kenny Lofton, Omar Vizquel, Carlos Baerga, Eddie Murray, Albert Bell, Manny Ramirez, Jim Thome, Sandy Alomar, just to name a few. It was peak baseball in Cleveland. I knew I could do no wrong, except there was a little bit of a learning curve in the game, and I did not do great. I mean, I did abysmal, but I had fun. Actually, no, it was actually very, very, very frustrating. Just coming down to brass tacks, it's a 16-bit baseball game. There's a whole bunch of them. This one was probably one of the better ones, but, you know, that's what it is. It's a good time killer. So that was Tecmo Super Baseball for the Genesis. I would rate Tecmo Super Baseball 83 out of 100. It's a solid game with decent graphics, fairly detailed mechanics, and so many stats you can't even possibly go through it if you tried. Emulate yourself a copy today, or you can eBay the entire complete set for about 15 bucks. Now let's go watch a movie together. This week's movie is very special to me. It's a coming-of-age story that could slay a walrus. What is it? Well, it's Stand By Me is an incredible coming-of-age story made in the mid-'80s about 4 friends growing up in the mid-'50s. But before we get into that, I'd like to say that this movie suggestion was submitted by the show's biggest fan, Tim Pasco II. So thank you, Tim, for following the show and suggesting such a great flick. I really appreciate you commenting and all that fun stuff. Stand By Me, directed by Rob Reiner, was based off a novella written by Stephen King called The Body. The movie is about a group of 4 boys who get a lead about a dead body of a missing boy miles away from their homes. Their adventure takes them through a junkyard, over a train bridge, through a leech-infested river, and ultimately confronting a local hoodlum gang over the found body. The characters are boys, fairly young, and throughout the movie they show the emotion and question their life choices and obstacles like we did when we were younger. It's a great connection to the small hurdles we clear with our friends that help us perceive the world in the way that we do as we grow up. Though the plot is based around a once-in-a-lifetime event, the entire journey feels familiar to the adventures children take with their friends. I can relate to the entire thing on a personal level. Maybe not as incredible, but the eagerness to go out with friends and explore the unknown. That's what my childhood was. The cast is iconic. Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, Jerry O'Connell, Kiefer Sutherland, and Richard Dreyfuss as Will Wheaton's character as an adult. Now, if you've not seen this movie or would like to see it again, it is currently streamable on Netflix. Here's a little trivia for those who follow me as a creator. In 2011, I wrote and directed a feature film entitled Under Overpasses. It follows 5 friends and their struggle on the streets, and the script was partially inspired by Stand By Me. So it always has a little special place in my heart because of that. And that's another episode of Ben's Basement. Please like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you want to see another episode, click here. If you want to see a skit, click here. If you want to see subscribe on my face and another bonus playlist. All right, guys, appreciate you looking, and later days. Thanks, everybody.